Bottoms. Long-awaited guest. I have been trying to get Weezy, better known as Weezy WTF on Instagram, the host of Horrible Decisions and the host of Sex Sells on Fuse TV, a show about sex work. I've been trying to have this woman on this podcast for like a year, and it finally happened. And this is just like one of those episodes where you're talking to an expert, both personally and professionally, and an incredible podcaster. It's so fun. We just bounce around. We get into responsive versus spontaneous desire. We get into Maddie's future hoe phase. We unlock everything in this. We talk about gender influencing your sexuality. Like, how does being bi or pan make you feel about your gender? It's so, so good. I also talk about my throbbing clit. Guys, there is a lot of good stuff happening in this episode. So please be sure to donate to the Patreon. Thank you if you guys are donating. We really appreciate it. And we will be doing more live chats. We started one over the summer, a live Zoom call. We're going to be doing more of that. And I'm going to be putting my solo show on there. So check it out. Have a good week, you guys. Listener, you might notice there's no ads on this episode. That means that this episode was 100% sponsored by gay people like you. Listener, go to patreon.com/WHGS. You can get up to 4 bonus episodes a month, and that includes our full backlog, plus the live stream of my comedy show, plus a ton of other bonus content. It's the best way to keep this podcast going, and if you donate $1 today, that would have been more helpful for us than listening to the ads. So consider donating $1. And if you're on the fence, here's a little taste of what you'll see on the Patreon.
We had been having sex for maybe 10 minutes when the fun came to a halt, and she tried to stick her toe inside of me. Her big fucking toe. I quickly stopped her and was shocked because I had no idea that toeing was even a thing.
That girl needs to get over her religious trauma and embrace her foot fetish and stop just sticking her toe in people.
This is I
don't even know how to say this. Okay. When it comes to sex, you cannot just dip your toe in.
One more time, that's patreon.com/WHGS. Dirty 30s. I don't know how old you are.
33.
They're real.
I like nastier things, but I don't know if I'm hornier. I just got peed on. Now I pee on my boyfriend.
What's the kink that when you're doing it, you were like, if you told me 2 years ago that I was doing this, I would not believe you?
Besides pee? Okay, this is really bad. I feel like this might, the white lesbians might hate this one.
No, because then it's kink shaming, and they know they're not supposed to do that.
Because you bitches can't do that, or you have to kill yourself.
You were talking about your nails, Maddie.
Yeah, I'm really liking them. We went kind of all out. They have little pearls on them. They have little ridges. They're like a fun little time. And I just love using my phone and being like clickety clackety.
Oh, it feels like call center lady.
Yes, it literally makes me like more productive because I'm like, I love doing work and typing. I'm like responding to emails because I'm like, look at the sound it makes.
It makes you feel girly.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an acrylic set?
Are you joking?
No.
That's.
I don't know if you ever had to do it for a movie or a scene or
okay, that's kind. That what you just said is kind.
Was
like,
it?
oh, maybe you've booked femme.
Hilarious.
You think I'm a gifted actor.
Okay, to be honest, I feel like I don't know what word is preferred for everybody, but every masculine girl to me had a moment, whether they were a teenager or something, where someone forced them, or like even there's this girl, she's like total stud. I don't know who listens to your pod, but I feel like that's the black girl version of best friend. So there's like a stud girl whose bestie is all about the makeup.
I actually looked that up the other day to like find the origin, because some people are like, oh, you can't say stud or you can't identify as, like, I was like trying to find the origin of all of this. Write in if you actually really know, because
it never came up.
I couldn't find. All I found was that stud is like in the black community what mask lesbians say. But I don't know, because I've seen white lesbians who are afraid of everything. I mean, I've never met a more fearful group of people in my entire life.
Oh, I know.
They are like, you can't say that, or you can't identify that way.
That's the woke of the woke.
Right. And I'm like, well, what is it? Is it just like that it would be weird for you to identify that way? Or is it like a protected term? I couldn't find anything.
No, I don't think it is. I think black studs are scared to say dick. They're like,
oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They're like, you can't say that. I'm like, but ain't it just their word? We can't, like, I don't know. So I just say a girl that wears backwards hat and looks. No, but wait, shit. Where was I going?
I'm
with
sorry,
that?
I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
Oh,
That's
had a phase, had
that's
a feminine
podcast.
phase.
Yes. All of my
thank you
friends
for
that are
saying that.
studs
Thank you
have
for
had the phase.
Yeah.
So my favorite content is this stud whose bestie's like a makeup artist, and she puts her in a wig and it, like gets her really girly. And I always wonder, in relationships, do you do it? I've only dated like femmes.
Right. Okay.
But I feel like if I dated a girl who was super masked, I'd be like, no, let's do makeup.
Jen's done my makeup. I also, for one of our live podcasts, which we should put on the Patreon now that I'm no longer in a contract with them. Remember when we did Femme Ashley?
Yeah.
How was Femme Ashley?
I'm pretty cute, not gonna lie.
Did you feel like you changed or no?
No, I felt like I was in drag.
You looked really uncomfortable. You looked really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Lucas said it glitched him. He was like, get my friend out of that dress. You're misgendering my friend.
Oh no. See, that's the fake woke shit.
Yeah.
Like, let that shit go.
No. But
playing.
for him, he meant it just like, that's my pal. Don't do that to her.
It was almost the opposite. He was like, I don't want to have to think about her as a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
probably.
We're having fun.
Yeah.
Don't make her a woman.
Is he straight?
Yeah, he's
Oh
straight.
yeah, he can't watch you like that.
No.
It
It
takes
was
him
it
out.
was weird for him, I think. Yeah. But
My boyfriend randomly has yes, I'm dating a guy now. So he has like this weird attraction to like masculine energy, women, whatever. We have this random foursome in Mexico with these lesbians. One's femme, one's not.
First of all, I love when we have a guest like this.
Oh, that just spills it all?
Not just spills it all, but just has stuff to pull
That's
from.
a hoe?
Yeah. You said it, I didn't.
That did kind of go left. I was like, so when I had this foursome.
No. You're talking to the correct person.
Okay, I figured we were like
I'm a
family in a way.
massive whore.
Oh, with a girlfriend?
I'm open. I'm in an open relationship.
Oh, so you are.
Not poly.
That's
but
like the clearest way to know someone is a hoe. I'm in an open relationship. Like, okay, you could stop. But no, I am too. Anyway, he really wanted the mask girl, and I was so confused.
Whoa.
He was obsessed, and she was a virgin. It was like
this is my favorite type of man, by
Oh
the
my
way.
God.
The men that are into masculine women.
Well, same, because I'm like, thank God, dude.
But I thought it meant that
Fucking
you're
thank God.
fetishizing. It doesn't.
You said what?
I thought it. Sorry, I have braces now. I'm an adult with braces, and it's been like a month. I don't
I
know.
do think the choice. Why not Invisalign?
I just was like, fuck it. Let me just lean into it.
They're kind of cute.
I
I kind
will
of
say
like them, dude.
They are kind of cute.
Do you know what they said a lesbian is with braces? A box cutter. I'm so scared to eat pussy. Like, we went on a date with a girl on Friday, and I was like, even though I was ready for sex, I was like, please, I'm so scared. Like, do I just like, I really don't know what to do. Because it's different than sucking dick. You kind of do use the front.
The first time, yeah, you might. Sometimes you'll like fold your upper lip over
I know.
to like give some cushion if you're really getting in there.
I'm scared.
That would hurt
I mean,
you.
I'm not scared enough
I
to
think
not
that
do
would
it.
hurt you more than it would hurt her.
Oh, because it's just a surface.
Because it's up against your teeth.
Oh, if you had lip over and
Yeah.
then against the braces.
Sometimes like girls like a little, wow, we're really getting into it. But sometimes girls like a little pressure, you know, at like towards the like the top of the clit.
Mhm.
If that makes sense, top of the clit to you.
Yeah, I think.
Do you know what I'm? I
need
don't
to
know what
watch
that
it.
part of the body is. I'm not gonna
The
lie.
hood?
I guess the hood technically, but it's up near like the pubic bone. Like,
Like when you're pushing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're going down on them, and if you can put a little pressure on the top lip, it feels good for them.
I don't know why it just hit me. I'm like, oh, you are gay. That was like your shining moment. No, let me tell you guys. Honestly, it is really helpful to regain some more skills because it's been a while, maybe 6 months. I guess that ain't that long. But having the braces
You
makes
okay,
me
Maddie?
terrified.
Yeah,
Am I okay, yeah.
Oh, how
Maddie
long's it
is
been for you?
I haven't
a
hooked up with a girl yet, but I am bi.
Maddie's a little baby.
Tell me, do people ever try to make you feel like shit about the fact that that's how you identify, but you haven't been with a woman?
I mean, like, I know that's like a
Besides me,
thing
Maddie.
online. Yeah, Ashley. I know that's like a thing
But
online.
I'm just messing around.
No, I know. I love
Yeah,
you.
I know it's gonna
like,
happen for you one day, and I would like to have a hand in it. No, not literally.
and that will not be how it happens, but I love you so much. But
you should come to the woods with us.
we've been trying
the
to go to
bar?
the
Yeah,
I was like, because
because we're gonna be chanting a hex, and we would like you to be there
it kind of felt like it could
to
be on
sacrifice a
brand.
rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, what's the woods? What's happening there?
No, there's like a gay
Wednesday.
night.
There's a gay night.
But to answer your question, it's
Okay.
I'm like aware that's like a thing in discourse, but I'm like so I so like know that I'm attracted to women that I'm like, all right, suck my.
Also,
like, I
very
don't care.
lesbian coded to throw a blanket over yourself during the episode.
Well, because you know what it is? I'm wearing a dress, and this will
I have
tie
a
into my
blanket
story
on as
later.
well.
I'm wearing a dress, but I'm like, I don't want to fucking like I was like sitting on the train, and I was like, I'm having to like do Kegels to like not. I'm like, I just want to sit like
Probably
this.
why it hasn't happened yet.
I just want to sit like this. You said what?
That's why it hasn't happened yet. Take the blanket off. So
No, it's
wait,
true.
how come the words bisexual but not bi-curious? I had a full-on debate about this.
Oh, interesting.
I think what you're saying is correct. However, friend of mine, full on, I believe because she's gay, she doesn't like hearing someone say bisexual if they haven't been with a woman.
Interesting.
I don't believe in that.
I won't. Here's the thing:
I don't
is I
either
won't.
because I've met a lot of gay men
She
that never
knew
had a
she
dick in their ass.
Right. She knew she was gay before she did anything.
Yeah, for me, it's not bi curious because I'm not curious. I'm like I know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's like just a personal thing of like, and whatever. We could have a separate conversation about like people like I don't want you taking up space in a certain. That's a different thing. But I know that it's the right word for me just because I'm like, I'm attracted to men.
Think
I'm
about
attracted to
teenagers
women.
before they have sex. They know they're
Exactly.
straight, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I honestly maybe am more like pansexual, but I'm just like,
You're tired.
yeah, it's so many words.
too many
No, I'm not
labels.
going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm writing a book right now in conjunction with my co-host for Horrible.
Congratulations.
So
Let's
we're
go.
Charlemagne gave us a book deal on his imprint. And
wow.
Dude,
talk
that's
about
so
the-
sick.
well, we're on his label for podcasting called The Black Effect. So he was like, I really think you guys would be great at this. And when discussing the Kinsey scale,
He's like one of my favorite people. Like
Me
in
too.
terms of like the history of his work. He's a very interesting person.
honestly, I relate him and Howard Stern so much.
Yes. Yeah.
Even the evolution of like, my mom was watching CNN and he was on there. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
He
what the-
just, there's no one what I love about him, there's no one he won't talk to.
Yes.
I hate this idea that this political idea that you only talk to certain people because of your platform and your influence. It's like there's so much to be gained by talking to people
Yeah.
that you have no alignment with.
Really?
I think so.
So who could you talk to?
I would talk to literally anybody. I think.
Really? You can interview.
Just about most anybody.
I think the line of who it becomes dangerous to platform is probably a lot farther than people. I think there is a line. There are
you know-
some instances where I'm like, someone is just platforming. Like there's some guests that Joe Rogan has on where I'm like, this is like a straight up fucking Nazi, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you shouldn't. But the thing that makes it platforming is that he has him on and then he doesn't challenge him.
exactly.
If you're having a discussion and you show how wrong and stupid this person's beliefs are, I think that's a net positive.
That's exactly
but
what
if
I
you
mean.
have them on and you just go, oh, it's interesting, didn't think about it. Hey, nice to meet
See,
you.
but that's what
then you
Candace Owens
platform to
does.
them.
She tries to like bring on someone
That's-
who's
sorry, who's
liberal. Candace Owens.
Oh, yeah.
She'll bring on whether it be a trans woman or anybody, and then breaks them down the whole time. So then you get people fearful. So with Joe Rogan,
you have to be very careful.
That's what I'm saying. Let's do that back. You know what I mean?
I think Theo Vaughn does it the best, even though I think he's like
Yeah.
an undercover Republican. I definitely feel like he does it the best because he knows how to get on your level. Like he had Sexy Red on and he's had certain rappers on. And I'm like, wow, he doesn't make them feel like they're on some weird white guy's podcast that they never heard of. He's like able to go there with them.
I think with him too, I was just gonna say that I think he comes to stuff with such, you can tell that it's in such good faith and genuine curiosity. There's so many people that have like a veiled agenda and these like, but he literally seems like he's sitting down and talking to every person he's talking to with a really open mind. So it's like, it just seems like it's in such good faith. That I'm
That's
like,
why
yeah.
you can't have actual like violent actors on because you can't come in good faith to someone who is like, you know, incited violence or something like that. But when you have someone
That's
you
true.
like vehemently disagree with, going in with a good faith argument is how you build a bridge to learning how to coexist.
Who do you think yours would be if you could?
I don't
Your dream asshole guest.
Whoa, that's a good question.
honestly.
That's
I would
such a good
love to have
question.
Joe Rogan on.
Ooh.
That'd be
I'd love
hilarious.
to have Ron DeSantis.
Whoa.
I also
wait.
want-
What's the tea with what brought you to Ron DeSantis is the ultimate answer?
I feel like he's not a normal Republican.
because of his boots.
It's the erasing history thing. And I know that's probably my own agenda, but like that to me was really strange. Like, I understand people may not agree with the Black Panther Party because some of their stuff was any means necessary being violent, right? But it still existed.
Yeah.
And it really was history.
Yeah.
How can you not account for it?
Yeah.
Even though we don't like it? Like, we're going to talk about the Capitol one day.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Charlottesville. We're going to talk about all those things.
Yeah,
But
it's like book burning shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
So I feel like it's this slow thing into trying to get people to be one-sided thinkers. Like, or only seeing the world one way or America one way, which is fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
yeah.
big time.
Even if we don't change Thanksgiving, even if we never acknowledge that what they did was and pillaging. Sorry to use that word.
No, you're fine.
Trigger warning it. But it's like, you gotta say what happened. It's still part of it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we all try to change day to day. Like, but I don't know.
I think part of it also is they're like, if people really know everything that happened, they wouldn't agree with me. They wouldn't come to the conclusion that I'm right. The only way people would stand behind me, Ron DeSantis, as a politician is that they don't actually fucking understand history in
But
this
the fact
country.
that he got it to go through was what scared me.
Well, Florida is just absolutely
I'm from there.
fucking. Oh, I'm
Whoa,
so
we're in
sorry.
Florida.
Thank you. Orlando, which
Oh,
makes
is that
it
how you
worse.
know Akeem?
No, that's the weirder part. Yeah, I saw clips of him online. I was like, he's so funny. I have to interview
He's
him.
so funny.
But no, that was actually, we found that out months later, but no, from Florida. So definitely born and bred, seeing it. Not born in Florida, but just high school, elementary. Like, that's why I live in New York now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, we never introed you. What do you go by? Because I know you as
Weezy.
Weezy. Okay, great. You have this amazing podcast, Horrible Decisions, with a huge book coming out. You have a show on Fuse TV.
The show is actually probably some of my favorite work because Horrible is all our host stories. We started the show just because we wanted to destigmatize kink for people of color. And Sex Sells, the show is about the business of sex because I felt like doing Horrible, so many people were like, oh, this person's disgusting or this or that. Not your community. It's always the people that don't watch it.
Yeah.
That see a clip online. And a lot of the sex workers have real businesses.
Yeah.
So I got to showcase it on Sex Sells.
That's so cool.
I need my inhaler actually talking about Weezy.
No, go ahead.
It's probably your cat. But
I'm so sorry. Do you want a Zyrtec or something?
no, it'll make me tired. All right, I'm good now. So basically on Sex Sells, like, you could literally be watching a dominatrix talk about how they file their taxes. And it makes you humanize sex workers. And I love it. I love when people are like, oh my God, the guy that made the auto blowjob toy, like, he taught me so much about search engine optimization. Like, that's what I want.
Yes.
And so that's what's be really fun about that show. But yeah.
Speaking of which, we're having gay sex. Patreon.com/WHGS.
That's a good name. That's a really good name, by the way.
That's the podcast you're on right now.
Like, when I was looking at the acronym, I was like, I had to like look you up to find it. And I was like, that's, you went for it.
yeah, I mean, it has its pros and cons. Like, people are always interested. They want to listen, but it also hurts like ad stuff and like certain sponsors and stuff. I'm sure you have dealt with that.
We have talked so deeply about changing our name. Like, literally calls with iHeart, the president of fucking iHeart. Like, how do we do this? And it's literally horror. But Sex with Emily can exist and get all these ads. We can't.
Dude, it's not just the name. It's also that you're not white and the kink stuff. Like,
It's
Like, do you feel like if you were a straight podcast where having gay sex wouldn't be as... We're
I
having
think
gay
gay
sex.
sex
We're
is
having
too-
sex.
we're
Be
having
Sex is
stigmatized.
enough. Sex with Emily is just as much as we can take it. Gay sex is too much.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a little too much for the brands to read.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the word whore is different from sex. They can
That's
handle
true,
sex,
that's
but they
true.
can't handle gay
Whore,
sex. They
yeah.
can't handle whores.
Yeah, it's like when you add an adjective to the sex. It when you add a little spice. When it's good sex, it's when it's just regular sex. When it's just cis hetero sex,
I know.
it has to be boring. It has to be boring sex, and then you can, And the fact,
It's tough. I know what you guys are going through because I've been going through it almost a decade. So I just can't believe now we've even really had the dialogue. Like, but how do you even change? Horrible Decisions is such a good pun.
great name.
What the fuck do you do after that? There was one suggestion where we were like, what about taboo talks? And we were like, God, this is dumb. There's nothing you could do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Because
that's all
part of
stuff
the
I do.
fact that the name, the shameless name, you're showing no fear, and that's what the content of the podcast is.
So I was having the suggestion, like, what if we just make it horrible with the correct spelling? And my co-host brought up a great point. She's like, no, because then we're really saying the decisions we make are bad when we're trying to reclaim the word whore and make it fun, much like bitch or saying for black people, like you're taking the word that you can use for yourself. She's like, we can't make it H because now these are actual bad decisions instead of fun hoe shit, which is very fair. So it makes it so hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck to do. But anyway, back to your gay sex.
No. How deep in are we, Alex?
17 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
And we got that far?
Yeah, I don't
Let's
have
go.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm so glad you're here because I don't have a huge story today. I've been having a lot of good sex with my girlfriend. Which
What's
is
good sex?
Whoa, good question.
Is it when you come? Is it when it's spontaneous? Is it consistent?
I think it's like we're both just really excited, like a little more than usual. We've been together a while now, so we definitely know how to have sex, like just to make sure we don't murder. You know,
Like you need to come. I could see it.
yeah,
in your face.
like we need to connect. Let's have sex, and then there's sex who's like I have to have you. Like I'm so
That is good
enthusiastic
sex.
for this moment, and it doesn't really matter how long it lasts or how much you're coming or whatever. I like the just feeling desired and making the other person feel desired.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's age. I don't know if I cared about that when I was younger.
Oh, really?
About like caring about you feeling as desired as I want.
I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Yeah, you're great. I love other podcast hosts.
they're not all good.
No, of course they're not all good, but I love good podcast hosts. When you have like another good podcast host on and you're like going back and forth and the interruptions feel like natural, you know what I mean? And you're just like going down a cool
I feel
tangent.
so bad when I read comments and they're like, "You had your guest and you
No,
couldn't stop interrupting."
But that's like a conversation.
Fuck
Yeah.
them. They don't talk to people.
But you get
they need
so
to leave
excited.
the fucking house.
Maybe it's New York shit.
I say this all the time. That's how New Yorkers talk
Or
to each
even
And
other.
that's how I feel
hand.
being like Jewish too. I'm like, I'm used to like interrupting my family and nothing's taboo. And it's like, you know what I mean?
My
And like
dad's
keep
Jewish.
up, you know?
That's the culture. You're just
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
Even with my hand, I've noticed when I've done that, like when you were mentioning something and I was like, ooh, or this.
Yeah, I talk with my hands all the time.
But it can look rude when you're watching on camera. It looks like you're shutting
It's
someone up.
so much. It's actually one of the biggest culture shocks that I've had is that people think I'm interrupting them when I'm like, I'm just excited about what you're saying and I'm jumping in to be a part of it because I love what you're saying so
I go
much.
through
and like
it
interrupt
every
me
week.
back.
Yeah,
Sorry,
interrupt me back.
I actually
Wait,
did just
Do you
interrupt you
guys
that time.
interrupt each other when you're only together?
Yeah, I'm sure.
But that feels normal.
We don't even notice it, but I'm sure we do.
I don't
it.
think we notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think that's a podcast. Like,
Yes.
I'm not, if I hear like a very streamlined, okay, like, you know, Nara, the girl that cooks? Nara Aziz, and she has the hot boyfriend. They have the kids. She's always baking something
I
from
do
scratch.
think I know her.
Like the
yes.
bitch made gum the other day. But the way that she talks, like, no, I'm not joking. I hate her. Like it's
Do you know her?
no, but I hate her like in a
so
way where
funny.
it's like she's so perfect.
Well, if you met her, you'd be like, fuck, you're lovely.
but yes, that's
You know,
what I mean by hate
you
you.
have everything together. You're making
She's like
gum.
120
How
pounds
the fuck do you make gum?
in Prada. My husband and I were thinking, oh no, they made toothpaste. That's what they made. We ran out of toothpaste, so I got some eucalyptus from the garden. Shut the fuck up. And then the 3 kids are in the back, and she's like, I have it together. Oh. Her husband's this fucking hot ass model. Oh my God, bro.
I had some spare charcoal that I activated overnight.
And then she throws that shit away and uses like prescription chemicals on her teeth.
That-
What are we
just
talking
do
about,
it.
dude?
I hope they have a little tape of her that comes out and says she does coke. Please, not because I want her career to be done, just to know, we
she's
all
a
are
person.
the same.
You would, it'd be like reverse canceled.
Yeah, I need
like
that.
just I need her to do something.
Humanized.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Humanized. That's the word.
Who got humanized with us? I'm trying to think. Like someone where we're like, ooh, they're bad.
Mulaney. Kind
John
of.
Mulaney.
Actually, that was kind of ultimate.
Oh,
like,
that
yeah,
can
like-
No, that was a good one.
That can only happen to a man. I'm not gonna lie. Only a man can become humanized. Do you
we're
think
like-
a woman can do something bad and be spared on the internet?
I mean, I would argue that he wasn't even, okay, I'm taking this off because I feel like a grandma, but I would argue that he wasn't spared. It was just that like chronically online people were like, this is crazy. And it's like, you can't cancel someone for having a messy personal life.
But also, he was
They tried.
telling you about it in real time of his
Yes.
recovery.
Oh my
So
God.
it's like,
if you own the
But I'm like, he
narrative, it's a totally different thing now, isn't it?
that's advice I got from Charlemagne, actually. He told me, you have to claim your truth before someone else uses it against you.
Whoa.
So never, if you
Could have
have
used that a
something.
year ago.
What happened to you?
I told, we'll cut this, but I told a heckler to kill herself. And then she went online and was like, Ashley Gavin told me to kill myself.
You
And
can't do that?
Right?
I swear to God, I didn't know.
maybe don't cut it. Whatever you want.
Okay, wait. That's like a suck my dick, I thought.
That's what I
At a
thought.
comedy show, it's like, yeah.
See, this is the problem with the white lesbians.
You're telling me, dude?
this, bitch.
You're telling me I'm the queen of this shit.
God.
Yeah, because that's so funny. She was a white lesbian, so she was like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life.
And also, you know what sucks? It's like the fluidity of this.
I'm being impressed
That
right
was
now.
good timing. Damn. I mean, okay, if she's still here today.
Oh, she is.
Okay, bitch, if you got on Twitter about it, it can't be that bad. Because I feel like sometimes when
If
I'm
you're
around,
locked in a cell or if you're in a hospital bed, you can't tweet.
there's no way she felt that bad. Well, okay, I will say this one thing. I don't care. If you heckled me, you got to be ready. I'm on the stage, so I'm going to be better at you than this.
Right.
I really think people have to understand when their tweets, bad YouTube comments. I've definitely went ham on someone, posted their profile pic when they call me ugly. Let someone call me a metal mouth today. Oh, it's over, bitch.
I really do
finding
think
your
it's
mom.
so cute. There's something nostalgic about it that I'm almost like afraid to say.
I think there's something in us that's a little kinky. It's like that Japanese schoolgirl fetish. I think
a little bit.
I think that's it. I think it's the innocence. Like
Yeah,
if I,
and it's innocence. It's like an innocence thing.
So I
It
can
But you know
reminds
what, also,
me-
you have a lot of jewelry on, and it's also like almost feels like more
Yes.
jewelry in a way.
Yeah.
yeah, I want it to feel like a grill.
Yeah, it
I
does.
do.
It does have that vibe a little bit
Like,
because
it's
you do
really
silver
cute.
on the rubber bands.
So I tried to do gold braces and they looked yellow, like yellow teeth. And I was like, okay, this is real ghetto. Like I gotta,
Wait, but that
did
would
you
be
have
so
braces
sick
as a
if it.
kid?
they looked, did what?
Do you have them as a kid?
No, that's why I need this shit now.
Yeah,
I was
I
clearly
still
like
have my retainer.
Yeah, I have
on
my
the back
permanent
of my
retainer, but I
teeth.
haven't been wearing my like night retainer. I like lost, like I don't even know, and so I'm like, oh god, I'm probably gonna have to get Invisalign.
do you
at
see
some
them
point.
move?
I don't think so, but it's like I feel like you wouldn't.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Just get a new retainer.
I know I need
Maddie.
to like go to the dentist. I need to do a million things.
I
but-
hate going to the
yeah.
dentist. Oh my God. Like they have to get me high first. Like,
Oh my
please.
god, the laughing gas. Fuck,
Laughing
I love
gas
that
is great.
shit.
Oh, my eyes roll back. I'm like, and they're like, is it too much? No. I have to like fake awake. I feel like a junkie when I get to the dentist. Not because I'm craving it that bad, but because that's the part you look forward to.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't do any drugs. I'm completely sober, and I fuck with the laughing gas so hard.
Damn, that shit is good.
It is good. When I first did it, I thought that was just a term, laughing gas. I didn't think it actually made you laugh.
I didn't think so either.
And as they were putting it on, I was holding in a laugh because I was like, "No, Ashley, come on,
Hilarious.
come on, you're not
You got it
actually
too?
gonna laugh."
Yeah. They
And
were
then
like,
you just and I said I was holding in the laugh, and I go, "Does this actually make you laugh?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh." And I started laughing. It was so fun. It was
They
just-
gotta have fun watching people get fucked up.
oh, for sure.
Because that would be the high of my job. Like, I want to know while I'm deep in here and there's blood all over your shirt, like, you're just giggling and having a good time. No, dentists are dicks, though. They always want to tell you how bad your dental health is. And it's like, bitch, do you floss between each tooth every night?
It's a lot. I need to floss more.
Bro, with the braces.
I used to be so good.
That
No,
shit
that
is-
is
Oh, I feel the gingivitis coming. Like, it's bad.
I've already like, I'm like, wait, I'll just get veneers eventually.
You
What the
think?
fuck are we doing? I don't know. I mean, I
I gotta
could-
whiten mine.
I have to whiten
I'm
mine.
due.
My teeth are so yellow. I drink so much coffee.
Yeah.
It's like,
a lot of it's genetic though, Maddie.
well, and I also think
Wait,
I'm really,
Yeah.
really, damn.
Some
But I
people
also
just
think-
stay so white.
I also think I'm really pale, so it's like my teeth look like yellow. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, I need to like do something. But I kind of think veneers would be like,
You have great
Ooh,
teeth.
see,
Really?
I don't know, because your teeth are straight.
You
Veneers
have
can make you look fake a
beautiful
little.
teeth. I
Oh,
don't
thank
think
you.
you should.
And when
Okay.
you have a natural
I mean, I
look, like
can't
you have
afford
the
it just
bushy
doesn't matter.
brow,
Invisalign.
you got rosy cheeks. Once you get veneers, it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it would seem plastic versus everything being. But I think I do need to whiten my teeth a little bit because sometimes, especially when I wear a red lip, I'm like, these are yellow.
This
teeth.
is the femmest episode I think we've ever done. Me and Maddie being like, we gotta make our teeth nice.
but she's wearing a dress with acrylics and pearls.
Maddie, just give Maddie like 10 more minutes. If we get onto Wikipedia, she will tell you 85 articles that she read in the past 24 hours. She will go into an incel hole where you will understand.
Oh, you're that smart?
There's a. That's not even what I
Thank
meant.
you. That's
she
nice.
Is, she is that
No,
smart.
she was being
Oh, wait, you meant like rabbit hole.
Like she's
Oh, I
like
think she meant
she's
like a
an
masculine
incel.
like obsession, and I am not an incel. Fuck off.
You're a
I'm-
volcel.
You like
No,
red
no, no.
pill stuff?
You said what?
Do you like red pill stuff?
No. Okay. No. This is fuck you. This
You
is
don't
not,
watch it, but when you
you're
see one
painting me-
clip, you can't stop.
No. You're painting me. Actually, it's literally just because sometimes I would rather read a book than like
No.
chase pussy. She's like, something's wrong with Maddie.
Sometimes.
I like having sex when I'm in love. Casual
God.
sex doesn't do much for me. I will defend myself.
I know, but
I will defend
it's not
myself. I'm a Libra.
Okay.
Are you really into
But
that
I think
stuff?
also what Ashley was getting at is that I'm gender fluid.
I
So I'm
always
like,
I love when people know because then
I'm
I
being
can get
slandered,
free,
Alex.
free tarot readings.
nobody cares.
No, I'm not. But I
Sorry.
just know I'm a crier, and people say that Pisces are like the most sensitive.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm
I
a
know
Scorpio.
casual sex, like I love it, but then I will cry after.
That's what I'm
Really?
saying. Yeah,
oh yeah,
same.
like call me a whore, and then after I'm like, why did I let them do that?
Yeah, same. Casual sex, it ends up feeling so violating that I'm like,
Really?
Yeah.
It can feel that way sometimes, but most of the time I'm just having a good time with a pal.
I'm just like, I would literally rather hang out with my friends, and I'll have sex if I'm like in love.
I think
Or
you're
I'm
not
gonna be in
horny
love,
enough.
but I mean, I don't know. It's like
if you're horny enough, that
Okay,
doesn't happen.
this is kind of what I wanted to talk about. I think I might just be a little extra horny right now. Dirty 30s. I don't know how old you are. but
33.
They're real. I don't know if you're experiencing it, but I have gotten consistently hornier as this decade has gone on for me. I'm 36. I'm almost 37.
I like nastier things, but I don't know if I'm hornier. But like the dirtiness, like I just got peed on. Now I pee on my boyfriend. I start thinking about weird shit. Like the pee is when I knew it was too far.
what's the kink that when you were doing it, you were like, if you told me 2 years ago that I was doing this, I would not believe you.
Besides pee, the pee is
Pee's
it.
the
man.
one. Pee's the one.
Pee is
'Cause yeah,
crazy.
it's a humiliation thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, this is really bad. The pee is crazy.
Like almost like a degrading kind of thing, like a kink that's like,
Okay, this is really bad. I feel like this might, the white lesbians might hate this one.
No, because then it's kink shaming and they know they're not supposed to
good
do
point,
that.
because you bitches can't do that or you have to kill yourself.
and it would probably make you come too.
Okay. So how humiliating. I just killed myself. Oh no, how embarrassing.
I'm such
My
a
life
dumb
is
slut.
over.
You know what? Can I tell you why I feel?
I ran my car in the garage. I'm a dumb slut.
I love saying I'm gonna kill myself as like a trope.
Yeah.
Like
I think
when
people think
slight-
it's different when it's
I think I said it to your producer, Alex. I was like, oh my God, I was late. I'm gonna kill myself. I love doing it for slight inconveniences.
yeah.
Like life is really hard, so I feel like I have to just make it worse. Anyway, okay.
Listener, are you listening to our Patreon exclusive You're Having Gay Sex? Well, here's a sneak peek. I kissed a man recently. Oh, I kissed Chris Higgins.
what?
Big Chris, the guy who opens for me sometimes. Because we were doing...
You made a sexual advance on your opener.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly unsexual.
That's not surprising. It's not surprising to me that you and Chris Higgins did not have massive sexual chemistry. He's like the most like man.
He's huge. He's like 6'5".
Yeah.
She's like, he's like so tall. He's like 6'5". Crazy Irene turned you down though. Brutal.
There are 4 bonus episodes a month of this series, You're Having Gay Sex, on our Patreon at the $10 tier and then 2 at the $5 tier. Patreon.com/WHGS.
This is super violent. Trigger warning there. But I really like non-consensual or consensual, non-consensual sex.
I just got into this.
Oh my God, it was so hot.
No, it's so hot because again, obviously all the caveats of like if it's consensual.
When you feel safe.
It is so when you're safe and it's consensual and it's within those confines, it is so hot for someone to be like, I want you so much that I'm not gonna take no for an answer.
Which
Oh, yeah.
side of it are you on?
The
Or
sub side.
both? Okay.
So
Because I was on the other side and that I was like really checking in with myself after. Like because
Like,
of
am I
the
6
guilt
foot?
and
Well, I almost think that
shame.
would fuck me up more.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the aftercare you need for both of you is actually pretty intense. So like
God, aftercare is so
we've
important.
done it twice. The first time I was sleeping and he went out, and then like I knew he was gonna do it. We talked about it that week, but I was like,
wow.
I was like freaking out. I was like, "Ooh, but this is good." The last time we did it, tears
Said it
came
within
out
a week. Also, very smart.
because
you
then
the
you're
element
the
of surprise.
Yeah.
So when the tears came out this last time, I think he was like, "Oh shit, is this too much?" Or is she crying because it's part of this whole scene? And I
Or
don't,
in some way, it's cathartic for you in a good way.
yeah. And it was a lot of slapping and choking. And afterward, he was hugging me really intensely, telling me how he cared about me. And the next day, I was like, I wonder if he did all that for himself. Like, I care about this person. I wouldn't hurt them because he was saying it to me, but it didn't feel like it was for me.
Yeah.
In a weird way. So yeah, that violent shit, it definitely, I think it's because I watched too much porn though.
But that's such a great green flag too, that he was also like, that he needed the aftercare, I feel like is a good sign.
Yeah.
Like if I was doing that with a guy and then he was like, all right, based, see ya. I'd be like, oh, I need that to have been as much of a character and a fantasy for you as it was for me. Otherwise, we're not on the same page.
Like I hooked up with this
otherwise
woman.
it feels violent.
Right.
That's why aftercare is like, it can feel so violating afterwards if that isn't done right. But if it is, it's like fucking awesome.
It was on my mind for like probably 3 weeks.
Wow.
After. Yeah.
This
like,
is with
it just like
a stranger or with partner?
It was this woman that I hooked up with in another city. This was wild. And people have already heard the story, so I won't get into it. But basically, ex-Mormon, just separated from her husband, is realizing she's gay. She hasn't like had sex in years. She doesn't feel horny. She hasn't come in a while. And we didn't even have sex. We just like did this consensual non-consent thing. And we basically wrestled and like hooked up a little bit. It was like crazy. It was my first time doing that. So I was like, hey, I need a safe word because, you know, I don't want to hurt you. You know
what else is a good one? A safe gesture. So I just got into this where some of this non-consensual play may have to do with choking or covering the mouth, or they're scared to talk.
Oh.
So gestures are good too. Mine is like tapping twice. Cause like if the hands are on me and I need it to stop. But the safe gesture I just got into. It was a suggestion from a dom.
That's so smart. Cause hand over the mouth is so hot.
Right?
But like,
it is.
you do need to like have something to.
Like if the blinking isn't going to work. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like for you guys, especially in wrestling, like, or what if she's muffled?
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate these phrases. Muffled.
When did you get them?
Like 4 weeks ago.
Oh, it's fresh. How long are you going to have them for?
A year and a half.
Whoa.
And that's if everything goes well.
I know. Oh, I literally told that bitch. She's like, we'll see 18 months. I was like, oh, no, we won't say. That's what you said. We taking them off. Once they get a little straight, that's it.
That's so funny. You're like, I'm an adult. I just as much as I need. And
that's what I'm saying. I don't need you.
I think you'll get so used to them though, because I'm like, I had them when I was a teenager, and I honestly don't remember getting them on, but I remember getting them off, and my teeth felt so fucking weird, and I was like, I'll never feel normal again.
People say
and then
that.
It, like you get used to it.
People say they miss it.
Your teeth feel like small and slimy afterwards.
They
for a
do
little
feel
bit. It's
slimy.
really bizarre.
Yeah.
I can't
But then
wait
you're
to
like,
eat
now I'm
something
like-
without it getting stuck again. I can't eat a chicken wing.
I broke my braces. I mean, my mom was like, by the third or fourth time, my mom was like, you gotta stop breaking the fucking brace. I mean, like apples and stuff.
Oh yeah, I haven't eaten anything like that.
Yeah.
Nothing hard, which now that I'm not kind of gay anymore, is really tough. I was telling Ashley before the podcast started that I made a joke to my friends I was KG, kind of gay, because it really like, it. When I say kind of gay, so bisexuals, I feel like they could have sex with a man and a woman same time, different day, like, once I was with a woman and I had a girlfriend, I couldn't even see. It was like dick never existed.
Whoa, interesting.
For at least
Look
a year.
out, Maddie.
Well, I have a similar thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Like, but I have a similar thing. And it's kind of is why I use the word bisexual instead of pansexual. Is I feel like there's gray areas and I like androgyny and all that, blah, blah, blah. But I have an attraction to men and I have an attraction to women. And a lot of like fantasies with women, I'm like, I want to fuck a woman. Like I feel like the more mask one. And when I'm with men, I really like being femme and being a sub and being
It
like
almost
a girl.
plays into the gender of it all to say bisexual because
A little bit,
it
yeah.
almost
It's
is
polar.
like
It's two
your
poles.
gender is almost switching, not switching, but like there's gender play.
The standard gender.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, and it doesn't just feel like I'm me and whoever. It's like I have two different there's like two polarities to my attraction to people, and it can vary within that. But it's like, I don't know. That's just interesting to hear you say that because I kind of relate to it on some level. Of like,
bisexuality is like that for me in my brain though, because I wonder how when you're dating a woman, being that you mentioned that about your bisexuality, will you go the complete opposite way?
yeah, I don't know. But then also I'm like, sometimes it is kind of hot to be like, oh my God, we're just girls and we like never do this.
Oh my God.
I'm not gay. I'm just like, you're really pretty. Like, I'm like, that's like not hot. You know what I mean?
Sometimes, just the other night, I was kissing Jen and I like noticed what I was doing with my hand. Like when we came away from the kiss, I like did like, I was like kind of like cutesy like this. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like a girl. Like a girl kissing this girl.
What's the girliest
Like,
thing
what
you
a
and your
little
girlfriend do? that makes you be like, ooh, this is me getting out of it too much.
There's actually like some things that are, like I don't bottom quote unquote for a lot of women that I'm just hooking up with, but like Jen loves, God, oh my, see, it's even hard to say. Okay.
Wow.
Jen loves like being inside of me. She loves that. She's like really into it. And I enjoy it a lot. Like, but I can't talk about it here. Because like I feel like there's nothing masculine about it.
That is not true.
Is it hot that it's emasculating?
You feel like getting fucked makes you see that's
toxic masculinity.
It is. It's toxic masculinity.
Fucking patriarchy, bitch.
100%.
Damn.
100%. I'm aware of it. And that's the first step to recovery. You have to admit that you have a problem and then acknowledge that there's a higher power.
I will say,
and
you know what? This is really interesting though. This is really, really interesting. This is fucking TMI. And if you know me in my personal life, turn this off.
I love when we have guests like you, dude.
If this is
sorry. I think it's just been a while since we've had a guest like this, and it's just so refreshing.
That you talk about sex so
like
openly?
Deep, yeah. Like really get into it, the details.
Well, this is the weeds, dude. If you're but for real, if you're my friend, fucking turn this off because this is. If I'm masturbating to the idea of a guy, I'll use a vibrator that has like a dildo and a vibe. But if I'm masturbating to the idea of like fucking a girl with a strap on, I only do my clit.
Me too. Oh my God, are we all fucked up?
No, but I literally think it is. It's like, why would I come at the feeling of something inside me if I'm fantasizing about fucking somebody?
For me, it's more just like what I want to feel.
Yeah, but I'm like, even though the physical sensation of having G-spot and clit is better, if I'm jerking off to the idea of fucking a woman, I don't want G-spot. I'm like, it's not, I want to feel like I have a dick.
Makes me think of men more.
Yeah, same.
Which is interesting because for you, because you don't have sex with men, penetration is kind of interchangeable.
Yeah.
For bi people though, it's not.
Penetration is like, I am
like, I didn't really use a strap at all. And I dated a woman almost 2.5 years, but.
Yeah, we don't use one.
That's when I thought I was really gay. Thank you. Good to know. But like, yeah, I just want the pussy. I just want a scissor. Also, my friends used to always be so curious what gay sex was like.
Yeah.
They're like, so what are you doing? And I was like, yo, sometimes my pussy's on the tit. Like, I don't know. It's all like messy.
You're free. You're just free.
Wow.
Not like that with men.
Yeah.
But my boyfriend actually asked me recently when I had sex with a girl he was watching, and he was like, okay, so tell me what you're feeling in the scissoring that makes you so excited about it.
Whoa, so okay. So when you have sex with a woman in front of your boyfriend, husband, fiance?
Boyfriend.
Are you feeling like you're doing like full lesbian sex, or do you feel like you're doing male gaze sex?
Good question.
Whoa, interesting question.
In the beginning, it was male gaze sex. And then once we got into it, it wasn't. And I think he started to see it.
But also, kissing a girl in front of a boy sounds so hot to me. Like, that would turn me on so much to be like, I'm making out with a girl and then a guy is turned on by it.
But I also like, what turned me on is like, he didn't need much involvement or didn't at all. It was like...
He's reading a book. He's got ESPN on his phone.
I feel like a lot of guys...
He's watching straight porn.
I need to come back. But yeah, like, I don't know. So yeah, afterward, he was like, what is it? Like, what do you like better? And I was like, I feel like there's no limits with the play, with like touching and like the wetness. So then he kind of wanted me to rub myself on him like that. And I like the open-mindedness because no man had asked me that.
Wow.
Like, they just be like, what do you like? Chugging pussy? Like, it's some like bro-y thing. But he was like, no, really, is it how you feel? Like, you don't feel like you need something in you? Like,
men really don't realize how much their wives, when they're on top, it's not about the dick as much as it is about his pubic bone.
Oh yeah.
And like I have a joke about that, and it's like you think she's riding a shit out of your dick. No, you're the washing machine.
That's so funny.
I haven't done it in ages.
That's so funny.
You know why I stopped doing it? I can't do it in front of lesbian crowds. They don't get it.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, and those are your fans showing up.
That's why they get mad at me.
I have a question.
When I say dark things. Because it's like, they're very like, not as much anymore. not as much anymore.
That's tough.
It is
because
tough.
when you have community that's so excited and feeling open to be around you, it's a certain type of people.
Yeah.
Like I've had
It's
lot of our
it's a double-edged
listeners
sword.
hate me saying, or what did someone say I was the other day? I was like, bitch, this is too woke for me. A lot of my ideas about sex are phallocentric. And when I talk about lesbian sex, they're like, even when I'm saying top and bottom, she's like, you can tell Weezy's so male centered or whatever. And I'm like, I mean, that's more of the sex I have. But yeah, like when you open the community for those type of people, you have to expect someone's going to be over the top woke. Like
Yeah.
I made
Also,
jokes
like-
about the Xenogender and people didn't like that.
What's Xenogender?
I don't know. It's something like Elon Musk kid with the XY. That I don't know. Gender
my thing
flu-
about neo pronouns is I'm like, you only have to know how to type them because they don't go outside. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's it.
I'm like, your
Neo-pronouns.
pronouns are Zer. Yeah, I'm like
Zer.
Zer. I'm like,
Caesar, yes.
I've never had to say that in person in my life. I've only ever had people on the internet be like, I'm Zer. I've never had someone in real life say that to me.
I actually
I'm not actually taking a stand like I don't give a fuck, but I'm just like,
Of course.
genuinely, I'm like, it hasn't come up in my life. So I'm like,
But gender queer
Sure.
to me makes sense. But the Zer is confusing for me.
I'm like, sure, I'll do it. I've just literally never met anyone that's actually asked me to.
But I think like when anyone says anything like that, we grew up in a society that's phallocentric.
That's literally what I was going to say too, is like, if you're only.
It's not your fault that, first of all, we're all doing it. Like, that's so insane. And there has to be like there has to be like slow movement towards, like.
but are we like the racists saying, give me a break?
But no, because I think.
But
I think it's like,
certainly are.
but I think it's fucked up because it's like, I think it's fucked up because it's like, it kept me from realizing I'm queer a lot of time is like perfectionism about it. And I'm like, you're actually the people who are saying shit like that to you, I'm like, you're actually alienating a lot of people who are queer and just taking the first steps in it by being, if you're not fucking perfect and haven't unlearned everything in your life, you're not allowed here. I'm like, well, then where the fuck am I allowed?
It's classist.
Oh,
Emma,
yeah, maybe that's true.
Emma Willman has a lot about this. How she's like, all of these big words and all of these things
It
in the
is
philosophy
classist.
is classist.
Yeah, that's really
because
true.
if you haven't had access to this type of education, how
know?
the fuck are you supposed to know?
Yeah.
So how about that, Caesar?
Unless your name is Azizer, then it's
Caesar
not-
is non-binary Caesar, by the way. And
Caesar!
You're a colonizer.
But see, the Z.
I'm not even against it. I'm like, do it. I'm just like,
Is it in your bio?
I actually don't think I have my pronouns in my bio right now.
Okay.
I think I took them out because I was like, fucking figure it out. You know what I mean?
Having a panic attack.
No, I was literally like, honestly, it was when we had Chris
You made a
Fleming
face,
on.
Alex. What was that?
Oh, well, I looked up Xenogender to figure out what exactly it is, and
like
it came with a
Scientology or
list of
something?
even more genders. I was scrolling through it, and
Is it
it's
more
straight up
than
like
three?
a Lord of the Rings Tolkien universe of genders.
But how do you even know you fit into that
Here,
one?
can I
That's
share
so
some with
funny.
you?
Lord,
So xenogender seems to be broadly just a term for gender fluid, non-binary.
Okay.
Like you
Yeah.
don't fit in the binary, but there's ambigender, aesthetogender, alien gender, biogender, kale gender. Stop if you want an explanation. This is what when you identify as kale gender, you identify with the elements.
I will
of
say
the
that is a
cosmos.
delicious pussy to eat.
This includes the stars, sun,
vegan pussy's
planets,
good.
and such.
Okay,
Kale
wait. What's ambo? Because my co-host and I in the book we're doing,
And
she found out she was ambisexual.
And this is
I will say,
this is
sometimes the
from
hyper-specific words like this are really useful. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was going to say that sometimes they are really useful.
For you.
In having language to talk about yourself. Like there's certain
Yeah.
words like demisexual or pansexual or demi-boy that I'm like, I don't like.
But should there really be something that nothing's going to describe us to the T
I agree.
because
I
of this
agree.
Kinsey scale?
And there, I'll
Yeah.
give you that. But just so people have the source, this is LGBTQnation.com. Everything you need to know about the term xenogender. Is
We
the
trace
name
back the IP
but
address. It's Russia sent to like break us down from the
it's
inside.
not an or.
100%.
Ambigender, these are people who see their gender as something profound and infinite. And that's all it says.
That feels like MAGA people to me.
MAGA people.
They can't wait to tell you that they're fucking whatever you think
Right.
I am, sis. God damn it! Like, oh my god, bro.
yeah.
I hate that sometimes I've seen the content where they're like finding someone who's got like green hair and there's like, I'm non-gender binary. And
I know, and I'm like, you're making us look bad.
and their titties are out. I'm like, what the fuck? Or their titties are out. And then And then you see it going on like racist Twitter, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Well, I think a lot of stuff too is like if you want to be, if you're in an online community where these are the social rules, then like
That's great.
fucking great.
Yeah.
The problem is then people run into people on the street and it's like most people have never heard of this, so they're not committing a hate crime by like literally not knowing that.
Yeah.
How do you
We
feel
didn't
about that
know it.
being blanketed in? To me, I would even say up to maybe 3 years ago, I thought any of those genders that Alex just listed, if I didn't understand them or hadn't heard of them, they were in the queer category to me.
I do think queer
Wait,
people.
how do you mean?
So to me, gay, bi, trans seems so explanatory.
And queer is etc.
Yes.
Mm.
That was kind of to me where I was like, oh, if it's something I haven't heard of, it must be in this blanket up here. It's like the subcategory. There we go. Because the IA plus, like, I don't know. I always thought when someone explained their sexuality to me and it wasn't something that I maybe had heard of, demisexual, pansexual, I know now. But a few years ago, I was like, oh, that's queer, right?
Yeah. But I also feel like a lot of people use, like, I don't know, I feel like I use that word that way when I'm like, yeah, gender, sexuality, all of it, I'll just say queer because it's not the thing that I'm told. The thing that I'm told I should be, I don't really feel like in a lot of ways. So it's just queer is the simplest.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think you've got to have the language to be able to have that conversation. I think queer is simple in that way. Like if you're describing yourself, you're going to say lesbian. Let's just pretend someone's grandma. They've probably heard the word queer at this point.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I think so. But maybe
in its new positive connotation.
Yeah.
So just a fun thing that's just made me think about, not fun, but funny. So my dad has a nurse that is trans and he doesn't misgender her at all. Her name's Jasmine. And there was one day I was with him. She comes in and he's like, who are you? And she's like, I'm Jasmine, Sonny. And he's like, no. So I'm like getting angry with my dad because I can tell it may be embarrassing her. We walk out of the room and she's like, don't worry. When I don't wear lipstick, your dad knows I'm a boy. I was like, oh shit. Like my dad really needs to see the lipstick, the high ponytail. Like he needs to see her dressed up. And he was legitimate. He's in his 80s, but legitimately confused. She's like, don't even worry about it. And she
He flat out doesn't know who she is.
He was like, who the fuck? What is this? Oh yeah. She's like, I have to dress up for your father for him to like get me right. Don't worry. It's okay. Like this is a thing with older people. They really need. But
wow, that is fascinating.
But that happens, I think, with a lot of people who don't maybe like get trans stuff, quote unquote. They see someone who's like very femme or very passing or very masc or very passing, very like a binary trans person post-op passing. And they're like, I get it. They just don't get it until but I would argue that's somewhat their understanding of cisgender too. A little bit.
Ooh, yes.
Like not in a way that I'm like, same struggle, but in a way that I'm like, you also only accept cis women who are like very, very femme, which is why you can only accept trans women who are very, very femme because that's your idea of a woman.
But also, so my dad's 86. He literally knows when he saw her that she was trans, like mentioned it. He said they had a conversation about it once. Like he asked her how long she'd been a woman. And I was like, that feels like a little much to ask, but at least she was open to it. Because you have to think, you have an elder.
I find if people ask in good faith.
Yeah. I also would imagine it's also person to person. Like if a trans person was like, fuck off, I don't want to talk about this, I'd be like, respect, totally, you're right. And if a trans person was like, I'd love to talk about this,
Also,
I'm like, that's kind of beautiful too.
Yeah,
But in your 80s, you're seeing it. You haven't seen this when you were growing up.
Yeah.
Now you know this person can live out loud. But like, yeah, when he told me that, he was like, oh, you know, she's been like this since she was 20. And I was like, how the fuck do you know?
Also, how old is the nurse? I find with older trans people.
40s.
Okay. I find with trans people who are a little bit older, because they grew up under much more unfortunate circumstances, they are way more open about what they have going on.
Because compared to what people used to say to me, this is really nice, and I know you're obviously asking kindly.
I had a trans interpreter, ASL interpreter. He came into the green room and within minutes was like, yeah, I haven't had this surgery. And I was like, all right, go off, King. Wasn't going to ask you that, but.
The trans man surgery, for anyone that's looked it up, I'm a 90 Day Fiance buff. Like, that's my shit. Some people, it's Love Island, fucking Big Brother.
Big Love Island. I used to really be into 90 Day Fiance.
Well, they had a trans man on there. And 90 Day Fiance, I couldn't even believe TLC did this, fully explained how his penis works, the grafting of the skin, like everything. And literally there's a scene of him with his girlfriend. She's asking him how come she can see semen. Like, it's crazy. And I was like, and just thinking of in American households watching this, but it really
That's huge.
Oh my God. But he was really young, Latino. I think they're both Latino, but I respect it so much because it makes so much sense when you think of trans women going post-op, because it's kind of like you cut it and you're done.
Yeah, I also think it's more common because the surgery is not, I mean, they're both incredibly complicated surgeries, but I think the bottom surgery for M to F is more successful than F to M.
Ooh, it is. I mean, even when he mentioned like having a catheter and shit, I was like, oh my God. Like,
Did it impact his like
also,
sexual?
testosterone's effect on the clitoris is like pretty successful.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, some people already kind of grow a bit of a dick anyway, right?
That shit gets
That might have been the most blunt way to say that, but like, yeah.
No. Oh my God. Like I go through, you went through Wikipedia's, I go through the whole.
Well, I want to make sure we get to it. I want to hear a gay sex story from you. How far in are we, Alex?
54 minutes.
Oh my God. Do you mind? Do you have?
We also can skip mine and I can save it for next step.
Yeah,
I've had a
all
blast.
I was gonna say is how horny I am to the point where like, I feel like a man a little bit where like I've never had a point in my life where like young men will just get boners.
What do you think you
at
get?
school? Yeah, I mean I'm getting a lady.
My
boner.
pussy gets hard.
Yeah, no, I mean they all do, but like
You're like a heartbeat, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
But lately, like I can't. The past couple weeks.
Like you wouldn't be able to abort this thing, like full heartbeat. Like, yeah.
Okay, that was fun. That was fun.
What, heartbeat?
Yes.
I'm uncomfortable. Like I have to jerk off,
Wow.
or otherwise, like I'm like.
Have you done it in a green room yet? Like when you're at a show? Like
no, I'm not that bad yet.
Oh, I haven't.
But
I'm serious on the first of all, I'm going on a horrible decision podcast tour where like someone's
you got to make some bad decisions,
right? And we have people coming in like doing burlesque as an opener. I'm watching all this. Like, there's been times where I've had to. It just relaxes me. I don't know.
No, for sure. But that's all I wanted to share today is that
you're super horny.
I am so horny involuntarily, like in a way that you know how they discuss spontaneous and what's the other one with desire? Spontaneous desire and responsive desire.
What's responsive desire?
Sort of like responsive desire. You go on a date, you buy someone flowers, you get dressed up, and you get turned on sort of as the night progressive. Whereas spontaneous, you see someone and you're like, "Ow!"
Oh, is that how you get it? From
I have much more responsive desire.
Right, exactly.
than spontaneous.
I feel like
oh, that's right.
I've
You
never
need
been like,
emotional.
I need to fuck. Let me find someone. It's always like person first. Oh, I want to fuck this person.
You've never felt like that? How old are you?
I'm 25.
You never felt that.
I mean, I've never been like I just want to.
I felt that in middle school.
I've never been like I want to have sex and then the person will come second.
How long has it been since you've had sex?
Maybe like, oh my God, you're gonna hate this. You're gonna be so mad
Maddie,
at me.
you know I'm just messing around.
No. You're gonna be so mad at me for the opposite reason. Maybe like 6 months.
Do you think that asexuality could play a part?
What is your fucking problem? What is your? I can't believe I was just so nice to you. I was like everyone in your own time.
Shames her.
Why have you not shared?
Because I'm a private person and it's complicated.
Maddie, I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you. We're friends. And you didn't even tell me as a friend.
How long did you think it was?
I was going to say years.
It had been like maybe 2 or 3 years before that.
Yeah. Do you think asexuality plays a part in that?
No, I don't think
Maddie,
I'm asexual.
look me in
I
the
think
eye and communicate to me. Are you serious? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Who'd you fuck?
I know.
I'll fill you in after. No, but I don't think asexuality I don't think plays into it. I do think there is a little bit of like demisexuality. Like I don't, if I'm just horny, I'm like, I'll jerk off. And
it goes away. You don't need a person.
Yeah, if I want to fuck a person, it's because I want to fuck that person.
I love
You
you
know what I
doing
mean?
the math right now.
Because asexuality changed. I have an asexual friend that I didn't know because we talk about porn so much. They were a fan of my show. We met that way. They have a girlfriend. 2 years they haven't had sex. And I'm like I was.
If I'm in a relationship, I am so horny and I'm fucking all the time and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I just,
but the desire when no one exists. So you haven't liked
like,
someone enough. Okay.
Yeah. It's just, if I'm not into somebody right now, I'm not, yeah, I've never been like, I need to get laid. Let me find somebody.
Not trying
That's
to push
like
sex
unappealing.
on you, but
No. Sure.
I think at 25, it's the perfect time to play around. And I think you may miss a window if you don't start playing around.
Well, you know what I also think it is? I think I might be more open to casual sex with women than men because of the safety thing.
Yeah, you need to get on field.
Yeah, I think I can't relax around men casually because I'm like, how do I know that you're not going to
This is the
like...
closest I've ever heard her say that she'd be willing to have casual sex. So I need you in the room more.
Because I think you're thinking too much of one. If I had casual sex, I kind of felt like, oh, I'm bad, or they don't care about me or whatever. If you went on one of the apps, Field specifically for sex, it's just that whole community is like ethical non-monogamy. They're like,
I am on Field. I'm like,
yeah, like you need to put in your bio, let's just make out. Because
that would be huge.
If you knew there wasn't the pressure of sex or even just getting naked, then you could just start to have these experiences that'll build up your horniness. Because right now it's not even
really
there.
Build up your horniness.
You know what part of it is too?
Like
and this is a little bit sad.
Level 10.
But I think when you're saying about like the few years that went into it, can I say one thing about this though?
yeah,
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off,
No,
but
cut me off.
is that like when I was like, oh, it had been like 2 or 3 years, and you're like, was there asexuality that played into it? I think it was more so that I was like depressed and had a bad relationship with my body and had gained a bunch of weight that I didn't want to gain. That was like through lack of activity and stuff. And I think part of the reason I actually just realized this recently on my own talking to some friends is I think also part of the reason I need to get to know somebody well to have sex with them is because I feel confident about like my personality and my brain. I'm like, I know that's a catch, but I have a really bad relationship with my body. So the idea of casual sex where someone would just want me for my body, I'm like, oh, you're using me because I'm an ugly girl that's easy. Versus if somebody like likes me and is smart, I'm like, that's the only reason someone would want to fuck me is because I'm smart and a good time.
Do you not think people are attracted to curviness though?
But that's the thing is like,
it's not in your brain.
And it's something deeper than that because it's like I've been with men who were like, I'm so attracted to you, and I've been like, he's saying that because he likes me as a person and he's tolerating my body.
You literally seem like a type to me though. Like you seem like
thank
cool
you,
Brooklyn girl. Like you have like like to me that's the vibe already.
Thank you.
But I feel like somewhere in like your standard of what beauty isn't actually where you live. Like I get what you're saying though, but I don't think that's real. Like not anymore.
Thank you. Yeah, it is a little bit like I'm not a Victoria's Secret model, so like I should fucking kill myself. It's like, but there's like that's not even who I would want to fuck. Like it's that's what's fucked up too. Is I jerk off to girls who look like me, and then I'm like, I'm so ugly.
That is fucking weird.
It's literally insane. Yeah, no, it's like a deeper. So yeah, I don't know. There's that part of it too, where it's like a relationship to self thing that's probably stopping me from having casual sex. On
but
some
lesbians
level.
are the best person to have sex with when you're not right about your body.
Like,
it's got slightly sad, but I think it is true.
No. It's not sad. It's you don't want to force anyone to do anything they don't want to do, but like your relationship to sex changes over the course of your life. Over the course of like a week, you can have a different relationship to sex one day than you do another day. And I just was like, I was so monogamous. Like when I was in my 20s, I was super monogamous, and coming out of my last relationship, I didn't realize how much sex could make me feel like good about myself.
It's so fucked up. It is, but it's because it's the most vulnerable, like... I tell this story about being paid for sex. Like, I had a sugar daddy, but I never thought it was a sugar daddy because of horophobia. I'm like, no, well, if I don't do this, I'm not like an escort. For some reason, that shaped the way I looked at myself. I was like, oh my God, this guy just paid me after, like, that's how hot I am. Right?
Whoa.
In this weird, fucked up way. Like, it's really fucked up. Because when you want to think, it's like, that's how you got your self-worth? Well, like, yeah. Like, something about sex does kind of hype it up for me. And it's because I was only having sex by myself. Someone else wanting me that bad did amp it up. And I kind of hate the notion that, like, needing someone else for validation is bad.
I agree. My therapist literally said that to me. She was like, sometimes I think you can learn through experience. And she was like, I think if you'll have sex, you'll feel better.
I think you will too.
It's
That's
not
so funny.
validation, it's connection. Human connection is...
You know where you need to go? You need to go to a sex club and not have sex. You need more sex, or like sexy scenes. I think kissing would really change you up. Like, I think sex is such a hill.
Honestly, I think a bigger part of it too is I'm doing stand-up 7 nights a week from like 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. If I was taking nights off and going to bars, I actually think I probably would hook up.
Yeah.
I'd probably feel a little more asexual because I'm like just working all the fucking time.
But isn't the point to fuck fans?
Maybe... She said it, not me.
Hilarious.
She said it, not me. She said it, not me.
That's so funny.
Isn't that why you're in an open relationship? Like, if you were in finance.
I have not done that in a while. Why don't you chill out with the stand-up for one night a week?
I've started thinking maybe I'll take like one night a week off.
Maybe two. One for yourself, one for going out with friends and having dinner.
That's not the worst idea. Yeah.
I mean,
part of
I
it's...
love stand-up, but like I can't with touring, I can't. I need days off. I need to be with my girlfriend.
Yeah, I'll think about
I
it.
need to sit down.
I say this because I've literally said this to friends before. I'm like, nobody ever flirts with me. And they're like, that's because you're around comedians at a comedy club and you all work together. If I went to a bar and shoved my tits up, I think somebody would hit it. You know what I mean?
Are
It's like,
we going to the woods?
I actually do think that needs to happen.
Wait, is it, what's the, I've only been to the Cubby Hole.
Oh, you gotta go to the woods.
Wait, is it like, what's it like?
It's like the cutest girls go to the woods.
Okay. I could do the woods.
Yeah.
Let's go to the
Come
woods.
with us.
No, I really will go.
We should. That would be really fun.
I think Wednesday night I have another throuple date, but if it's
Wednesday I get my IUD in. My
Bitch.
new IUD.
Next Wednesday?
So I'm going to be, I think I'll be in town next
I
Wednesday.
heard it's worse than giving birth. Sorry to.
How
Oh,
often
no,
are you?
I have one right now.
Are you here permanently in the city?
So I live back and forth from here to LA.
When are you in LA?
Next Monday. Oh shit. I'll make
When
time to
you're
go to the
back.
woods
We'll
before
figure it
I
out.
go
We'll
to the
figure
top.
it out.
When,
Yeah.
What's the hot time for the woods?
I got there
Wait,
last time
maybe
at
I'll
like
just
10:30.
bring them. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, the
Is it-
throuple?
Wait, is it bad to bring a guy to the woods?
Oh, now we're in a whole other
Well,
conversation.
because we're bringing a girl that we get.
I don't think it's a problem.
But some do.
But the ones that are going to be mad at me for the whole thing, they
Got
think
it.
it's a problem.
You know.
To be fair, he's pretty.
You're asking the wrong person because I'm like,
bring
let's
him.
go.
We'll just
you know?
say he's gay.
He's got nipple rings and gauges. It'll work.
perfect.
Yeah. Honestly, me and Jay Jordan, I don't know if you've worked with
love
him.
Jay.
Oh, Jay Jordan.
We were joking about how many things a guy has to do to be gay. He's like tight pants, nail color, like this, brushing your teeth, eating hot dogs. Like, so yeah, okay.
We can do it.
I just feel like I have to go. It's work. But honestly,
you have to go.
you guys like breaking down the dynamic of the three-way thing that's going on will be even more fun. So
That's a fun time. I love that it's throuple date, not just threesome.
So we met this girl while we were out, like just at a club, feeling the vibe, flirting with me, flirting with him. So we went out to dinner on Friday. She wasn't ready for sex. She was on her period. So we like all cuddled and made out in bed. But I was like, oh, this is hot.
Let's go.
So I'm hoping that
See,
shit ain't
Maddie,
bleeding no more.
see that all the ways, so many ways.
Yeah, I'm not like living under a rock. I'm
No, I
just
know,
like,
but-
I'm just saying that like, okay, whatever.
You
yeah.
have to do it because
You
she gets
should-
mad when
you
I do it.
should-
I'm
this
like
is-
the older sister.
Because you're
Anytime
like, you're an incel, you're a virgin, you are on Wikipedia all day.
She's supposed to break you down so you can go fuck. No, if I did a podcast with you every week, I'd be the same person. The compassion is here because I don't know you.
Hilarious. That's so
By
funny.
the time I get to the woods,
Right,
I'll be like,
I'm
damn,
impatient.
bitch.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I think
Well,
it's,
I'm also just a contrarian. I'm like, well, no, I don't want to. You're like telling me to, so I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
oh, no, I need to be bullied into shit.
I hate comedians so much.
Really?
No, I love them.
Oh, I had this whole list of things I wanted to talk to you about, and then like,
I was saying, I had a story. I
Well,
don't
you
even
have to
know.
come back.
you know how
would
else
you
I know I'm
come
gonna
back?
have a good episode with someone? It just happened with us. You're like, oh, I didn't introduce you. That happened to me with Jay recently. 20 minutes in, Mark 22. This is Jay. He does this. Like, that's when you're like really fucking having a good time.
Yeah.
Of course I'll come back. You weren't that far.
Yay.
Hide the cat.
And if you need to rent a podcast studio,
Yeah, WTF Media.
what do you want to plug, Maddie?
I got tour dates coming up. Come check that out. I'll be on the road. Come see me do my hour.
Yeah, me too. And patreon.com/WHGS you'll get this full episode. Thank you for listening. Patreon.com/WHGS to support this podcast. You can donate as little as $1. And gay thought. This is sort of based on a joke that I'm doing, but I was in Missouri this weekend. And the last time I was driving through the Midwest, I got caught in a storm. A thunderstorm, a tornado was in the area, and I had to pull over to the side of the road and get help. And it occurred to me how quickly I had forgotten that I am gay and that I could get hate crimed. And as soon as I pulled off into this rural town, I thought, well, better act as straight as possible. And it's crazy how quickly that came back to me. That feeling of fear, that turning on the, oh, hi, sir, just a little more femme. And it made me, honestly, pretty grateful for the privilege that I have. Not everyone can do that when they feel that they are frightened. Just kind of a thought that I had that I thought I'd share with you guys that both made me laugh but was also deeply terrifying. Have a good week, everybody.